Everett had to throw that ball before he wanted to. Barry Bennett, Baldwin in there forced it.
A 29-yard attempt by Mike Lansford with Dills holding. And the kick, no good. It was off to the left. So the Rams, as Joe Klecko watches from the sideline, miss an opportunity off a Jet turnover to score again, and it remains 10-0 in favor of John Robinson's crew.
We're going to see pressure. The block is coming from the right side of the screen. Does this affect Lansford, trying to maybe keep it away from the guy who's clear? Bobby Humphrey? I don't know. We'll never know, but he hooks it badly to the left.
So the Jets have a life, but they have not scored yet, and he'll go on.
5 guys to his right. This whole line is coming at him. Does that force him to kick the ball away from them? I don't know, but he hooked it to the left. It didn't help.
Jets 1st and 10 on the 20, and movement in the line, and penalty markers fly. Gordon King, the right tackle, an ex-New York Giant.
False start, 72 offense, 5-yard penalty.
It'll be interesting here, Dan, to see what the Jets do to try to get something going offensively. The Rams could not capitalize on the 3rd turnover, and the Jets' top 2 receivers have only 1 catch between them. That's Al Toon. Schuler hasn't caught one today.
Yeah, you really have to wonder. Well, look at what happened. I think we've seen 3 penalties in the offensive line alone, false starts.
And they swing it out to Johnny Hector. And Hector to the 20-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage, where Mel Owens makes the stop for the Rams. That's the time remaining in the 3rd quarter. 10-0 Rams.
After what happened Monday night, when the guys have their hands on their knees in the huddle, it is human nature to question yourself. Right now, I think the Jets, offensively, are wondering what happened. Where has the magic gone?
Gary Jeter is in the game as a pass rusher for the Rams. O'Brien gets it to Mickey Schuler, and Schuler is tackled at the 26. That's Schuler's first reception of the day. It'll be 3rd down with Eckern making the stop. AFC East, the Jets with a 1-game lead over New England, and the Patriots have a golden opportunity to move into a first-place tie if the score remains the same here. But the Saints, as you see, lead in that game.
And I think New England is finding out something the Rams already know. That's how good New Orleans' defense is.
They lost 6-0 in the first meeting between the Rams and Saints. O'Brien completes it to Schuler. It'll be a 1st down for the Jets to the 34-yard line. Vince Newsom put the seal on.
Last time they ran that play to that side of the field, remember the throw was way high, and it was intercepted. Not this time. Schuler will take it sitting down. Kenny O'Brien has brought the ball down. Good for a 1st down.
Schuler coming off his lowest productivity of the season with only 1 catch against the Dolphins. He's caught 2 now. 1st and 10 at the Jet 34. And McNeil was 73 yards. Doesn't get much, and in fact loses a yard on the play. Mike Wilcher, Carl Eckern in on the play.
Mike Wilcher, who led the Rams a year ago with sack production from his linebacker position, had 11 and a half, and I think that says something about the talent on the defensive line when a linebacker leads in sacks.
2nd and 10. Ball is deflected. And O'Brien was looking at Gary Jeter with the pass rush. Carl Eckern got a piece of that ball, and McNeil was the intended receiver.
Looked like the ball bounced off someone at the line of scrimmage, off of someone's shoulder or helmet. Let's see if... Let's take a close look at it. Who touched it? Jeter coming from the bottom with the rush. I don't know. It might have been Sean Miller, the nose guard. Tough to see from that angle, Dick.
3rd and 10 at the 34. O'Brien intended for Toon, and Jerry Gray nearly picked off his 2nd pass of the afternoon. That wasn't even close.
No, it was way over Toon's shoulder, but it was right on the hands of Gray. Working Al Toon. The ball, though, is going to be back to the sidelines. No way he can react to it, but boy, right on the palms of Jerry Gray. Toon makes a reaction back to the middle of the field. Almost looked like O'Brien expected him to break to the sidelines.
Henry Ellard goes back for the Rams, and Dave Jennings to kick for the Jets. 4:38 remaining in the third quarter. Rams lead it 10-0. Fine kick by Jennings. Fair catch, Ellard. At the 15-yard line. A 51-yard kick by Jennings. Third quarter, the Rams lead the Jets 10-0, and we've talked and chronicled the Jets' defensive problems. Due to injury, when you lose the likes of a Gastineau and a Mel, an outstanding linebacker, and of course Klecko and Marty Lyons, you don't have much to work with. But today, a different story.
As we see Joe Klecko on the sidelines, I think if you had to look at the Jet defense, those would be their 4 best players. I think when you take into consideration that they're out of the game today, I can't criticize the Jet defense at all. I think they're playing pretty darn well.
They've held the Rams to 210 yards. First and 10 at the 16. Everett to Ellard. Ellard gets a block, and Ellard will get a first down for the Rams. Out to the 27-yard line, Bob Crable on the stop. It's a 12-yard gain.
This is just a quick screen. Different teams have, everybody runs it. The key block is going to be by Dennis Hare, the right guard. He'll come right down the line of scrimmage, get the kick out. Ellard will then break to the inside. He's taught to wait for his lineman. We see Smith, the guard, and he cracks back. There's Dennis Hare. Going to get in there and put a hat on somebody else. Perennial Pro Bowl ball player out of Miami.
Ellard and Brown at the top of your screen. First and 10 Rams on their 28. And now Brown moves. Dickerson runs into Crable. Brings him down at the 29, a gain of 1. And a Jet player slow getting up is the man who hit Dickerson, Bob Crable. Scores from around the league. Kansas City is losing, and if Kansas City, Cleveland, and Cincinnati all lose and the Jets can come back and win, the Jets would clinch at least a wild card berth in the AFC playoff. 2nd and 9 at the 29. Everett, and he's got House. Kevin House, who caught the touchdown pass, the only TD of the game for 60 yards, grabs this for 17. Carter on the play.
How much of an arc does the ball take when you're throwing the long sideline out? Jim Everett does not take a great deal. It's a good crisp pattern by Kevin House. Russell Carter gave him a little bit too much room up front, but that takes a good arm to get it there on that trajectory. The kid's got a lot of talent. That's obvious for everyone. Let's see.
First down on the Ram 46. Dickerson. And 3 Jets were there to stop Dickerson at midfield in a gain of 4 yards. Kyle Clifton, Lester Lyles were in on the tackle. 86 yards on the day for Eric Dickerson, and the Jets, his defensive unit, and you look at Humphrey and Stuckey there, must do something when they get the ball. They have been shut out so far after scoring only 3 points against Miami on Monday night. 2nd and 6 for Everett and the Rams at midfield. Dickerson into Jet territory to the 45-yard line. Close to a first down. Harry Hamilton on the stop.
One thing I like about Eric Dickerson is he's not afraid of the tough yardage. Reminds me a lot of Tony Dorsett in that way, that he's not afraid to lower the shoulder, take on 1 or 2 or even 3 tacklers. It's not always that trying to skip to the sidelines. How can I minimize contact? That's not Eric Dickerson.
Dickerson has 21 rushes, but he also is approaching 100 yards, and the Rams are 7-1 this year when Dickerson has gained 100 or more yards. Measure for the first down.
And they haven't lost when he's carried it 30 or more.
They're shy. So it'll be 3rd and short. Dick Stockton and Dan Deerdorf here at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Rams are leading the Jets 10-0, and a lot at stake for both teams. Rams with a 1.5 game lead over the 49ers in the NFC West, and Joe Walton's Jets trying to cling to a 1-game lead over the Patriots in the Eastern Division of the AFC.
You wonder if Joe Walton will roll the dice. John Robinson with a tough call to make here. 3rd and very short. You would assume the Jets are going to stack the line playing the run. Great time to throw it.
At the Jet 44, quarterback sneak, Everett, and he appears to have made it. Always a good call
when it works.
They'll unfold it.
Well, you know, the quarterback sneak is a little more formidable a weapon when you have a quarterback the size of Jim Everett.
6'5" Jim Everett gives the Rams another first down with 1.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
John Robinson yesterday said, well, for years and years and years, I said, you never need a tall quarterback. He said, that's because I only had short ones. I lied.
They're going to measure. The Jets called for another measurement, which is their right. And it's a lot closer than the preliminary call if they have the first down. This is interesting. And Dennis Harrah comes to the line with Everett. It is a first down. Let's take a look now at the AFC West standings, where the Raiders are a game behind the Denver Broncos. The Raiders are a red-hot club, and coming up next, it'll be the Eagles trying to be the spoilers now that they're eliminated against the red-hot Raiders and Jim Plunkett. 1st and 10 Rams on the 44 of the Jets. Dickerson with a head of steam. And Dickerson close to another first down. Gang tackled at the 35. Charles Jackson, Tom Baldwin were in on it.
The blocking again at the point of attack is just very, very good. Eric Dickerson, when you take the pitch that deep in the backfield, you can't have penetration. You can't have people in your face. You need the room, you need the space to see where you're going to go. That's something the Ram line does very, very well. They give them that room, that space.
Dickerson has 100 yards, and that's been good news history-wise for the Rams. 2nd and 1 at the 35. Again, Dickerson, he's hit and will lose on the play. And a fine defensive play by the Jets, who had an inkling it might go to Eric. Crable was right there.
Bob Crable is lined up to the outside. Let's clear it. This is Crable right here. This is not, forget this guy. He's out of the picture.
You buried him.
Bob Crable comes on the blitz into the backfield, hits Eric Dickerson. That's a nice thing about this little machine. I could just make him disappear.
Well, you really ruined that other guy. I hope he gets to play the 4th quarter.
These things
Here at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Dick Stockton and Dan Deerdorf, and the Rams lead the Jets 10-0. And the Rams, to no one's surprise, after 56 yards rushing in the first half, have 78 in the 3rd quarter, and that's what you do when you have the lead. 3rd down and 2 for the Rams on the Jet 36. Everett on a design play and hits the tight end David Hill for a first down inside the 20. Hamilton on the tackle and an 18-yard pickup to the veteran tight end.
This is the pass off of the play that they've been running all day long. Right tackle pulls, right guard pulls. Dickerson goes that way. They've been running that for big yardage. There goes Jim Everett on the play pass. Watch how the Jet linebackers bite. You see them freeze. They approach the line of scrimmage. Look at them all over here. Look at this right here. Everybody bunched up. There goes Jim Everett all by himself.
1st and 10 at the 18. Dickerson in traffic. Back to the line of scrimmage. Crable and Clifton.
When you've been running that play as successfully as the Rams have, good call to set up the play pass off of it. It's not a new play. They've been using it all season long, and it seems that every time they've run it, it's been successful for them.
Rams have scored their points Coming off turnovers by the Jets. A couple of fumbles. Wesley Walker and Freeman McNeil coughed it up. 2nd and 10 at the 18 of the Jets. Everett hits Ellard. And Ellard has a first down at the 6-yard line, and Russell Carter made a touchdown-saving tackle.
Strictly a timing pattern. Russell Carter plays too much to the outside. He tries to grab a hold of Henry Ellard. Luckily, he got him by an ankle, or that's an easy touchdown. Russell Carter, that time guilty of playing too much to the outside.
Russell Carter, who went to SMU and was a teammate of Eric Dickerson's. What did he tell us about facing Eric?
We said, I never got to face him in college. He was the #1 offense. I was the #1 defense. I'd like to give him one good shot. You ought to worry about Henry Ellard.
1st and goal at the 5. Here's Dickerson. Carter didn't get a chance there. And Elvis Franks brings Dickerson down at the 4-yard line. Franks, along with Jim Stuckey, have been late additions to the Jet defense with all of their injuries up front.
Jim Stuckey, it was very interesting, having played with the 49ers for so many years, was giving the Jets and their other defensive players kind of a rundown on the Ram offensive linemen, their techniques, where he thinks they're vulnerable. Doesn't appear to have done a whole lot of good.
2nd and goal at the 4. Dickerson changes direction, and he'll go in easily for the touchdown. A piece of cake for Dickerson and the Rams. And it's 16-0 in favor of the Rams, and more pressure for the Jets. The 55th career touchdown for Eric Dickerson ties him with Elroy Hirsch for the all-time Rams record. Dills will hold for Lansford, who will attempt the 17th point. And the kick is perfect. 17-0 the Rams.
Let's just take a look. The left guard, Tom Newberry, is going to pull a design play all the way. Just watch how the Jets overreact when Dickerson breaks back. There's nobody left. Somebody has to stay at home. Someone has to honor the cutback. We see Clifton. We see Crable. Right there. Russell Carter. He's the backside corner. He dives and misses. And right now, there's not a New York Jet within 15 yards of Eric Dickerson.
And we'll return.